Hi everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the SCU show, brought to you as always by Slam Inc. Slam Inc. is a new and upcoming brand of graphics and clothing material by Tori Graham. Tori's been working on graphic design for 5 years now and has decided to start his own business, partnering with a couple of indoor football and semi-pro football teams. You can follow Slam Inc. That's GRAHAM Slam, one word, Inc. on Facebook at Slam Inc., Twitter at Graham_Tori, and Instagram at Slam Inc. Contact Slam Inc. for all your graphic design needs today. Alright, let's get started. This is going to be really tough for me because I don't deal with this type of stuff and I don't really like to talk about this type of stuff, but obviously it needs to kind of be addressed. Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others were killed in a helicopter crash on Sunday in California near Los Angeles County. And the biggest loss was Kobe Bryant because he was not just one of the best basketball players of all time, but he was one of the best human beings of all time. Like, one of the best human beings to ever walk this planet was Kobe Bryant. Everybody knows that. Everybody loved Kobe. And Kobe loved everybody. Everybody saw that, except, I believe he had the thing with Dwight Howard when Dwight Howard's first time in L.A., but, him and Shaq had problems, so it's not like this is past all that stuff. This is all past all the problems he had with Dwight Howard and with Shaq and everything. But for the most part, everybody loved Kobe. And everybody loved what he did on the court, of course, because that's what made him so famous, was what he did on the court. But it was also what he did off the court, because he was caring for everybody off the court. Everybody was his best friend. He was everybody's best friend. And to see him go and the way he did, it shakes us today. 5 days later, we're still shaken by the fact that Kobe Bryant is no longer with us. And what really got me was that not only was, obviously Kobe's dead. Kobe died in a helicopter crash. His daughter Gianna died too, 13 years old. And what really struck me was that he was the coach of her basketball team. They were headed to a practice at the Mamba facility. I don't know the name of the facility. They were on the way to the facility to practice when the plane crashed. And that really just shook me because the fact that, Kobe had just the night before, just a Saturday night, LeBron James had beaten Kobe Bryant's scoring record. He went from fourth to third over Kobe. And Kobe had called him, not even the night before, Kobe had called him the day of, congratulating him on his new record, on beating him out in the all-time scoring list. That was really special. And of course, we heard just hours before getting on that helicopter, Kobe Bryant went to church and prayed to God. So, just stuff like that. This is going to affect everybody forever. For as long as we live, this is going to affect us. And it really affects me right now. I'm not showing much emotion, I know, but I know deep down, this really hurts. I didn't grow up watching Kobe. I didn't grow up watching basketball. I don't watch much basketball today, but I do know the legacy that Kobe Bryant left on the NBA, and I will always know the legacy Kobe Bryant left on the court. But of course, I send my condolences to Vanessa Bryant, her 3 remaining daughters, and the families of those who perished in the helicopter crash. But let this be a message to everybody today. Hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. If you're mad at somebody, fix it, because you might be mad at somebody today and tomorrow they're not here. What are you going to do to that? You'll always have that regret. I'm sure Kobe has no regrets because Kobe did everything right. Everything Kobe did was perfect, almost perfect. I wouldn't say everybody's perfect, but Kobe was, like I said, one of the greatest human beings to ever walk the earth. And unfortunately, God took him away, took Gianna away, took everybody away just too early. So let this be a message to everybody for moving forward. Tell your loved ones you love them. If you're mad at somebody, make sure you fix it, because they cannot be there tomorrow, and you'll live with that regret that you never got to change your relationship with somebody, and they could be gone tomorrow. This is, again, I've said this a few times now, this is going to affect us for a long time. Because Kobe Bryant was not just one of the greatest basketball players ever, he was one of the greatest human beings ever. And with that, we say, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. What a tragedy. It's very, very sad indeed. A sad day in the NBA. A sad day on planet Earth. May he forever live in our hearts. All right, so we're going to stick with the NBA here. So that was very, very touching. Kobe Bryant is dead at the age of 41. We do send our prayers, condolences to all the families affected. Vanessa, her 3 daughters, the families of the one family that all got killed, the coach from Orange County, baseball coach. I don't remember his name. Him and his family died, and they left behind 2 children. So, of course, we send our condolences to them moving forward. But now we got to get to some more stuff. And the NBA free agency period ends next Thursday. So I'm doing a little analysis on it now. But really, there was only really one thing that I saw that I was like, okay, this really needs to change because this is ridiculous. Trae Young is on the Atlanta Hawks. Everybody, obviously, if you watch basketball, you know that. Trae Young is the star for the Hawks, Atlanta Hawks right now. They're wasting his time. The Hawks are wasting Trae Young's time. Trade him. I mean, he's doing such incredible things. Last night he had an incredible game, again, and a win over I believe they beat the Sixers last night. He is with this team. They are 20 games or 19 games under 500, whatever the case may be. The fact that the Hawks are so bad and Trae Young is doing so well, that is a waste of pure talent for Trae Young. And if I'm the Atlanta Hawks, I'm trading Trae Young to make sure he gets his career where it should be with the winning team. And really, the only real team that I could see him winning anywhere in the next year, because obviously I don't think they're going to win this year, is Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Nets would be a perfect destination for Trae Young. Obviously, this year the Nets are about 7 games out of 500, and that's even without Kyrie. I mean, you have KD's out for the year, but now you have no Kyrie, and you're still on only 7 games out of 500. You're still in the playoff race, I believe. Come next season, come October 2020, KD, Kyrie, can you imagine Trae Young with those two on the court together? That's a big 3 right there. That's a great big 3 right there in Brooklyn. I had been talking about buying season tickets, and god damn it, if Trae Young is indeed traded at any point, possibly in the offseason, to the New Brooklyn Nets, I'm buying those season tickets. Because you will have the big 3, a really talented big 3, Trae Young, KD, and Kyrie, in one of the biggest markets in America. You don't think you're going to fill seats if you're the Brooklyn Nets owner? I don't know who it is, but I do know if you trade for Trae Young at any point, or you get Trae Young, you're going to fill some seats. Not only that, you're going to win some basketball games, because all you have to do after that is beat Boston. Because I think Toronto's eventually, they're good right now, but next year, I don't know what's going to happen by next year. And all you have to do is beat Boston, because I think Boston's going to be great for years to come. If you beat Boston in the playoffs, you're competing against the Lakers, Clippers, or Warriors for the NBA championship. And who's to say you couldn't beat them out? Who's to say? Honestly, it could happen. So Atlanta Hawks, stop wasting Trae Young's time. Trae Young, stop wasting your time. Request a trade, and make sure they send you to Brooklyn, because that would be the perfect destination for next year. Not this year, next year. And let's get Brooklyn into the NBA Finals. What do you say? How cool would that be? All right. All right, now we're going to switch over to the NFL for much the rest of the show, because there are 3 topics here that I have. Obviously, we got to talk about the Super Bowl. We'll get to that at the end of the show. We'll give you my pick. You let me know what you think. I'm at Writing Fanatic 2 on Twitter. Cleveland. What are you doing? Oh, my God. I'm going off here. You're gonna love this segment. Cleveland continues to show what a dumpster fire they really are. I've said this already. They hired Kevin Stefanski as a head coach. The man just came off a playoff game where the Vikings, with Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, they scored 10 points. Yeah, of course, it's against the Niners. A great defense, that's fine. But you scored 10 points. With that high-power offense, not good enough. Absolutely not good enough. They also, when it comes to Cleveland, they have a C quarterback, Baker Mayfield. He led the league in picks last year. He might do it again this year. B receivers, OBJ wants to be traded. Jarvis Landry, B receiver. A B-plus running back, I do like Dick Chubb. He's pretty good. I wouldn't put him in an A. I would give him a B-plus. And now you have, obviously, I just say you have a new head coach who's not going to be ready to help this team beat out Lamar Jackson, Big Ben twice a year. It's not going to happen. That's 4 games, which the Browns have already lost, pretty much. And now that you have this GM, I don't have his name. I wish I had put his name up. You bought a GM back. Who wish you fired after the 2017 season? Or maybe it was the year last year, whatever. He was with the Eagles last year. Now you bring him back, but the years he was with the Browns, 1-15, 0-16, and I believe when he left, That's when the Browns were like, "Oh my God, we're so good, bro! You've 7-8-1." Now you're bringing it back. He's your GM. He's your vice president of football operations. Do you realize? Do you see this mess you have? A C quarterback, B receivers, once be traded. Okay, running game. Not a great head coach. GM that's probably not going to do well. This is why the Browns continue to fail, because they are bringing in guys that don't know what winning is, guys that have no experience. This is why things crumble in Cleveland every time. And I don't know who to blame is here in Cleveland, but come on, the Browns need to figure something out. Otherwise, I said on an earlier show that they're going to be 5-11. I might have them. Good Lord, they might go winless with this team that they have to give her OBJ. They might go winless. I mean, come on. Because the Bengals are going to get Joe Burrow. The Bengals might be better than them next year. Might see sweep them next year. They might lose. They might get swept in the AFC North next year. With the way that things are looking right now for Cleveland. It's a mess. And somebody's got to clean it up. I just don't know who it's going to be. All I just know is that I don't like the hire for the GM. I don't like the quarterback. I don't like a lot of things going on here. I just don't like it all. It's a big mess in Cleveland. And somebody has got to fix it, because if you don't, you're going to continue to be in the same Browns that you've been for the last, 20 years or so. All right, let's switch to something more positive. Let's talk about the Chargers. The Chargers have moved off of Phillip Rivers. They are done with him, which is absolutely the right move. I love the move, because Phillip Rivers says he was not going to play in L.A. He wasn't moving to L.A. He has 9 kids. I might have 10 on the way. And he said, "Oh, I'm not playing in L.A. I don't want to go play in L.A." And I said, get rid of him then. Fine. He 5-11 year with that team that you have. Yeah, it's time to go. And I said that on our earlier show. And now the Chargers have finally, I guess they must have listened to that show, because they agree with me. It's time to move off Phillip Rivers. They have, thank God. And their next franchise quarterback is staring them right in the face. And his name is Justin Herbert. Now, for people that know me, I kept talking about how Justin Herbert was going to be the next quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys if he had come out last year and went to the draft in 2019. But he didn't. He stayed at Oregon. And what did he do? Nothing but great. Nice. Like I said, like I knew he would. He would do great stuff. I knew it. And, of course, he did. I keep hearing, the analysts keep talking about what a great leader he is. That's awesome. I like that. Hear that. I like how he runs. Obviously, Justin Herbert's a running quarterback. You can see that if you watch his film. If you watch the Rose Bowl, which, by the way, MVP. Senior Bowl, MVP. Also rushing touchdown. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in the Rose Bowl, by the way. I forgot to add that in. And if you're listening, watching this show, I keep saying, running quarterback, future of the league. Hello. Right there. I don't know how great the offensive line is for the Chargers, but it's not as bad as some teams, like Cleveland or, Tampa Bay or Houston. It's not that bad. Definitely not that bad at all. But what I'm seeing is you have your quarterback right in front of you, and he falls right into your lap. But I'll get to that in a second. So if you go ahead, the Chargers are picking 6th in the NFL draft this year. If you go ahead, you take Justin Herbert at number 6. By the way, falls in your lap. In a second, you'll have Keenan Allen, great receiver. Receiving back, Austin Eckler. I love Austin Eckler. I think he's a better guy, a better athlete than Melvin Gordon. A lot of people will disagree. You have Melvin Gordon, who I do like. I do like Melvin Gordon. I just think Austin Eckler is more athletic and can do more for you. Hunter Henry, if he's healthy, is going to be a great tight end, replacing Antonio Gates, who's finally retired. And then you have a great head coach in Anthony Lynn. And plus, if Justin Herbert can't find any of these guys open, he can run the football. He knows how to run. And so now we get to the point that I brought up earlier. He falls right into their lap. Joe Burrow's going to Cincinnati, Chase Young's probably going to go to Washington. I heard reports that the Redskins were looking to trade that pick. They're not going to trade that pick. It's not going to happen. Lions probably draft a corner. I think the Giants draft a lineman, whether it be a defensive lineman or offensive lineman. I don't know. Tua's going to the Miami Dolphins. Everybody knows that. He's going to sit behind Ryan Fitzpatrick next year. Ryan Fitzpatrick will then retire, and the Dolphins will be Tua's team. And then, bam, Chargers. There you go. Right there, number 6. There's your guy. It's a match made in heaven. Justin Herbert and the Chargers needs to happen. If it doesn't, well, what the hell are the Chargers doing? It's an absolute perfect match made in heaven. All right. We've come to the coup de grace. The meat potatoes, as a lot of people like to say. By the way, we're going to have a special shout-out for Tori Graham at the end of the show, because it's really good stuff. I just saw on Instagram the other day. Very good stuff for Tory Graham, my sponsor. All right, Super Bowl 54, the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm so glad it's not a rematch. And I'm also glad I'm very glad it's not Green Bay, Tennessee, because that would have been a really crapshoot game. Really crappy game. Come on, that would have been awful. It doesn't matter who would have won that game. That would have been awful. But anyway, let's get to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a great game. That's going to be a really great game. Chiefs, you have the Chiefs' high-power offense. You have Pat Mahomes. You got Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce's a great tight end. Damon Williams is a great running back. You don't have a great offensive line, but Pat Mahomes, you see, he knows how to run the football. So if he needs to run the football in this game, he will. And he probably will need to, because Nick Bosa, will be there. And he just won Rookie of the Year. So props to Nick Bosa. I will get it right. For winning Rookie of the Year. And you have, again, like I said, you have the Chiefs' power offense, but you have to go up against a very high-powered San Francisco defense. So Nick Bosa, you have a bunch of other guys. You have Richard Sherman in the secondary. So you know it's going to be a scary, very tough secondary to go get past, And on the other side, you have a very great Niners run game. Niners had a really great run game in the last two games. Raheem Morstead had 4 touchdowns rushes against Green Bay's really good defense. I do love Green Bay's defense, and he scored 4 rushing touchdowns on them. And then on the Chiefs, when it comes to the Chiefs defense, you have Frank Clark, you have Tyrann Mathieu, and it's a really great Chiefs defense as well. So really, it's a very balanced game when it comes to both sides of the ball. You got a very balanced game. The question is, who's going to come out on top? And if you know me, you know that I'm a big believer in defense winning championships. Seen it in several Super Bowls. The 49 when the Patriots beat the Seahawks defense. 48 Seahawks defense dominated the high-powered Broncos offense. A whole bunch of the latest Super Bowls. Super Bowl 50 is the same way. Defense won the championship. And with that being said, it is time for me to make my Super Bowl 54 pick. And I am taking, drum roll please. Let's get this going. I'll take San Francisco to win this game, and I don't think it's going to be close. While I do love Kansas City's offense, their defense is not going to stop that run game for San Francisco, and obviously San Francisco's defense is going to be just way too good. It's going to be too good. I mean, did you see what they did to Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and the Vikings? And I guess I said this last week. Kansas City's defense, Kansas City as a team in general really struggled in the postseason against 2 of the worst 3 teams in the playoffs, Houston and Tennessee. Went down 24-0 to Houston and went down 10 twice to Tennessee. Meanwhile, San Francisco whooped everybody's you-know-whats in the postseason. The Vikings, who beat the Saints, who won their division first over everybody. And then they beat the Packers again, just the way they did back in November. So I'm picking San Francisco to win the Super Bowl. Number 6, they'll join the Steelers and the Patriots as the only 3 franchises to win 6 Super Bowls. I think I might get pick the MVP. I don't know who's going to win it, but I would like to see Nick Bosa win it because he just won the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Imagine him adding a Super Bowl MVP to that. But we'll see. I do once again, 3rd time now. San Francisco are my Super Bowl 54 champions. We'll see. SCU show brought to you by Graham Slam Inc. Graham Slam Inc. is a new up-and-coming brand of graphics and clothing material by Tory Graham. Tory has been working on graphic design for 5 years now and has decided to start his own business, partnering with a couple indoor football and semi-pro football teams. You can follow Graham Slam Inc. on Facebook at Graham Slam Inc. GRAHAM Slam, one word, Inc. Twitter at Graham_Tory and Instagram at Graham Slam Inc. Contact Graham Slam Inc. for all your graphic design needs today. And a quick shout out to Tory Graham because he partnered with not just me, but the North Texas Stampede, 4-time champions. They've been runner-ups every other year. They've been around for about 10 years now. 4 championships, 2 USA Bowl championships, and just last year they won the CRAFL championship. So really good stuff for Tory Graham. He's got a lot of stuff going on for him. I know me and him talk every day, so I know what's going on with him. So I just wanted to I had to give that shout out to him. Props to you, Tory, getting it done with the really great semi-pro team in the North Texas Stampede, which, by the way, is the longest-running semi-pro team in the state of Texas. So, once again, props to Tory Graham. Let's go 49ers. And on a sadder note, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.